If you are a product leader or a business creator, you have likely seen this chart, a steadily climbing line of registered users, mostly on the free tier. On the surface, it looks like success, but deep down, there is a growing anxiety. The conversion rate is flat. The revenue is not following the curve. Free users don't fail to convert because of the users themselves. This is a hard truth to swallow. When monetization stalls, we often blame the market, the pricing, or the quality of the leads. But in my experience producing high-impact business content, the root cause is almost always internal. It is a structural misunderstanding of what free actually does to a human being's psychology. If you believe that more free users will naturally lead to more paying customers, you are waiting for a miracle that was never designed to happen. This episode is about why that belief is the very reason your monetization is paralyzed. Let's challenge the most common visual in business, the funnel. We are taught that free is the top of the funnel, a wide entrance that narrows down to a trial and then to paid. But this visual is a lie. In a funnel, gravity does the work. It implies momentum. It suggests that if a user simply stays in the system, they will eventually slide toward the bottom. But free is not a step in a journey. It is a usage mode. A step is a bridge. It exists only to get you to the next side. A mode is a room. It is a place where you can live. When you provide a free tier that is good enough, you aren't building a bridge. You are building a comfortable, permanent residence. A mode does not move people forward. It allows them to settle. If your user feels settled in their free experience, the psychological pressure to move to a trial doesn't just decrease, it vanishes. Why does this settling go unnoticed for so long? Because of the metrics we celebrate in boardrooms. We track registrations, we track daily active users, DAU. We track time spent in app. When these numbers go up, we feel a sense of security. We tell ourselves, look how much they are using it. Surely they will pay soon. But here is the critical distinction. Usage is not evaluation. Think about a person using a free weather app. They check it every morning. High usage? Yes. High frequency? Yes. But have they ever evaluated the premium features? No. They are simply using a utility because it is there and it is free. When your metrics focus only on activity, you create a blind success. You start believing that being used equals being valued. The real question you should be asking is, has the user reached the moment where they must judge the product's worth against their own money? If your free mode allows users to bypass this judgment, you are collecting data, but you aren't building a business. You are running a charity disguised as a startup. This leads us to a dangerous anti-pattern I call the comfort trap. When product teams are told to reduce friction at any cost, they often end up removing the very tension that drives conversion. If the free mode solves 90% of the user's problem, why would they ever pay for the remaining 10%? In the minds of your users, the cost of switching to a paid plan includes not just the subscription fee, but the cognitive effort of changing their habits. If they are already comfortable, that effort feels like a burden. You see this in many SaaS products today. They provide so much value for free that they actually train their users to believe the service has no monetary value. You aren't nurturing future customers. You are subsidizing a user base that will actively resist ever paying you. The goal of a free tier should not be total satisfaction. It should be informed curiosity. If you satisfy them completely for free, you have successfully designed your own obsolescence. This failure is rarely the fault of a single person. It is a structural blind spot in how we divide labor. Look at your own organization. Marketing is incentivized to lower the cost per acquisition, CPA. Their goal? More free signups. Product teams are focused on user experience and reducing friction. They want to make the app as easy to use as possible. Sales is focused on high-intent leads who are already ready to talk about a contract. Do you see the gap? The transition, the intentional act of moving a user from free mode to trial mode belongs to no one. Marketing thinks product will handle it through the UI. Product thinks sales will handle it through outreach. Sales thinks marketing shouldn't have sent them unqualified free users in the first place because no one owns the transition it is never designed. So, how do we fix this? The answer lies in designing the exit from the free mode. We need to stop seeing friction as an enemy. There is such a thing as positive friction. This is the moment where the user experience intentionally pauses to ask, "You have seen the utility. Are you ready to see the impact?" Redesigning the transition means assigning a transition owner. This is someone whose sole KPI is not free users or paid users, but the velocity and rate at which free users move into an evaluation state. They look at the evaluation threshold, the specific moment where a user realizes they have a problem that the free tier cannot solve, but the product can. If you want to fix your conversion, you must design this exit before you even finish designing the entrance. Stop asking, "How do we get more users?" Start asking, "Who is the architect of our trial mode?" Monetization is not a tactic you apply at the end. It is a design responsibility that starts at the beginning. 1. Shift from seeing free as a step to seeing it as a mode. 2. Shift from measuring usage to measuring evaluation. 3. Identify the comfort trap and introduce positive friction. 4. Appoint a transition owner to bridge the gap between departments. The structure creates the outcome. If you don't design the transition will never happen. In our next session, we will go deeper into the specific psychological triggers, the threshold moments, that move a user from comfortable free to invested trial. Until then, look at your dashboard. Are you seeing progress or just usage?